Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to another exciting episode of Can Talk Sports. My name is Cameron Gooseby, and today I will be talking about a Thursday Night Football Week 9 NFL prediction between the New York Football Jets taking on the Indianapolis Colts. These two teams, they are looking to come into this game, and they have a lot to prove because last week the Jets beat the number one seeded Cincinnati Bengals by a field goal. And then on the other side, the Indianapolis Colts lost to the Tennessee Titans by a field goal. So these two teams are coming in with a lot to prove. The Jets are coming in to prove that that win wasn't a fluke against the Cincinnati Bengals. And then that the Indianapolis Colts, they're coming in to get themselves back on track and try and get themselves back to a game below 500. But right now, looking at the Jets, they are coming off of an upset win. They have a new quarterback, in Mike White, and he did a really good job against Cincinnati. He threw for 402 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But all in all, it was a victory. And literally, Mike White is actually the second quarterback in NFL history to get over 400 passing yards in his first ever career start. And the first one being Cam Newton. So the fact of the matter is this. Literally, Mike White made some NFL history. He got an upset win over the number one seeded AFC team in the Cincinnati Bengals. And then not to mention Mike White, he is starting his second game tonight on prime time on Thursday Night Football. So he has a lot to prove. And although Mike White had a really good game, he can't be stuck in the past. On Sunday was the past. Today is today. Today is Thursday. And literally he has to worry about today's game. So literally, Mike White has to worry about today's game, in my opinion. But next, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is very, very, very inconsistent. He's been very inconsistent ever since the 2017 NFL season. In the 2017 season, he had an MVP caliber year. Matter of fact, he won the MVP in 2017. And not to mention, Carson Wentz, he was possibly on his way. Yeah, he was on his way to the Super Bowl. Not saying he was going to beat Brady, but he was on his way to the Super Bowl, and then the injury happened, and Nick Foles took over his job. And sure, Carson Wentz has the ring, but it's going to go under Nick Foles' credit that he beat Tom Brady in a Super Bowl. But ever since the end of the 2017 season, Carson Wentz has been very inconsistent. His play has been very inconsistent. He's very, He's very injury prone. He's inconsistent in his play. He makes pretty bad decisions down the field. They make memes out of him. It's ridiculous in my opinion. Carson Wentz needs to do better, in my opinion. I think he needs to play better and stop making dumb mistakes. That's the reason why the Colts are 2 games under 500 right now. There were some key moments where Carson Wentz choked in the clutch situation, and literally some of these games is the reason why the Colts lost these games was because of Carson Wentz. And guess what? He has Frank Reich as his coach, and with Frank Reich, he was the guy that was a coach under, that coached Carson Wentz when he won the MVP in 2017. So literally, he has his coach. Carson Wentz has offensive weapons. He has a solid offensive line. The fact is, it's Carson Wentz who I think is holding this team back. But as far as the Colts defense, they have a good defense. They do have a good defense. Sure, they did lose some pieces, but still they have a good interior defensive line. They have some solid linebackers and some solid cornerbacks. They know how to stop the pass. They know how to stop the run. They know how to pressure the quarterback. They know how to do everything defensively, but offensively, Carson Wentz is the key to their success. And with Carson Wentz not being consistently good, that's the reason why the Colts are not winning football games, and it really shows. But looking at the New York Jets, their defense is good. Okay, their defense I think is good, but offensively, they're bad. That offense is really bad in my opinion, because literally I see highlights of the New York Jets where time and time again they look like they're getting, they're starting to get momentum, throwing the ball down the field, running the football, and the next thing you know, they turn the football over. The wide receivers are dropping balls down the field. The running backs are fumbling the ball. And here's the thing: they have a solid running back in Michael Carter. They had a solid quarterback in Zach Wilson, who is hurt right now. But Mike White, he did his job. He, like I said, despite all of the inconsistencies that are with the New York Jets, including the offensive line, he won a football game. He won an NFL game, and he beat the best team in the AFC. So I'm going to give Mike White credit for that. But he has to go ahead and look forward to tonight's game and stop looking at the past. But if I'm going to go on ahead and go with a final score prediction, I'm going to go with a 2-point victory for the New York Jets. And here's the reason why. The New York Jets have a solid defense. They know how to run the ball. They know how to pass the ball when they are not, when the wide receivers are not dropping the ball down the field. Michael Carter is a pretty good running back. Literally, those guys, and plus they got Mike White. They have a pretty successful backup in Mike White, who happened to get a win last week. So I'm predicting an upset. And the other reason why I'm predicting an upset is because Carson Wentz is very inconsistent. Knowing Carson Wentz, he's gonna have a solid game, right? But I think at the end of the ball game, he's gonna throw an interception. He's gonna turn the football over to the New York Jets, who happen to be leading by 2 at the time. And with that being said, when Carson Wentz turns the football over against the New York Jets, in the last minute situation, then the Jets are going to win the game just like that. I think the Jets are playing with a lot of momentum from last week. I don't think that win was a fluke. I'm not saying they're going to be contending for no Super Bowl title, but the way how they're playing right now, they're playing very hungry. They're playing very, like I said, playing very motivated. And I don't see a lot of that from the Indianapolis Colts. So my final score prediction, I say that the New York Jets will put up 23 points. They're going to give up 21 points. And my final score prediction, the Jets will win this football game by a score of 23-21 against the Indianapolis Colts. And also, not to mention, they have some hungry defensive players with Quincy and Quentin Williams, who are basically both brothers. But when it comes to hitting people, like those guys, they're relentless. They know how to go after the quarterback. They know how to stop the run. They're pretty good. And that's the reason why I predict that the Jets are going to win tonight. I think it will be because of their defense. But with that being said, if you guys like this video, I'll have you guys go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I will see you guys later.